now, Campenelli.com has pleasure in presenting. Don't look now, your attitude is showing. Have you ever sat down and taken stock of your attitudes? Are they helping you? Our attitudes can be of tremendous help, or they can be our biggest enemy. Perhaps we have great ability on our job. We know every detail about that job. Yet, we can't understand why we are not making more rapid progress. Let us take a look at those attitudes. Are we developing a set of roadblocks instead of streamlined assets? One of these roadblocks, which is so easy to develop, is the way you accept an assignment. The way an assignment is accepted is often as important, if not more important, than the manner in which you complete the task. If you take on a job grudgingly, no matter how well you do the job, your attitude may be remembered longer than the job you do. Remember, this attitude we demonstrate toward our bosses must also be carried over to the people we work with. In other words, it is a three-way process, down, up, and horizontally. The attitude we have towards those we work with will be reflected by the quantity and quality of their work. Old-time methods hampered production because little was thought of the individual. Today, we consider the individual an important, if not the most important, factor in any production scheme. If this is so, then is it not practical to maintain a harmonious relationship by demonstrating good attitudes rather than bad ones? Learned men have tried to define attitude but have never actually arrived at a hard and fast definition. But we can say that an attitude is your whole manner of conducting yourself. It is the true you. The more we analyze it, the clearer it becomes that attitude is a reflection of one's inner feelings. But what makes up an attitude? Determination is not enough. It must be fortified with a certain amount of humility, and yet it takes a dash of aggressiveness. Courage alone never accomplished a task, nor did stubbornness ever win a point. Tact and diplomacy far outweigh the direct and obvious in many instances. Anyone who would succeed should keep in mind this fact, that his attitude is as important as his actions. The old saying goes, actions speak louder than words. Should have added to it, but attitudes speak even louder. No one likes to do anything when he resents the attitude taken by the person requesting the action. Some of the attitudes that people resent most are aloofness, superiority, just me, I'm bossiest, Mr. Big, I'm always right, know-it-allness. Developing good attitudes comes easily to some people, but hard to others. When a person has what we call a personality, we usually think of their good attitudes. They are pleasant, and people enjoy their company. When a person is devoid of these pleasantries, we usually say that they have no personality. They usually have few friends, and people seldom seek them out for their company. Everyone likes a person who puts themselves on their level and does not have a demanding or offensive attitude. People naturally resent being driven or pushed into something. Usually a person who balks at doing something when they are told to will do an outstanding job if they are approached by someone with a good attitude and asked to do it. Politeness and courteousness will work well in these situations. Reasoning and good judgment will help us set our own measuring stick of what constitutes a good attitude. All we have to do is put ourselves in the other fellow's place and then determine how we would like to be treated. What would cause us to respond favorably will usually have the same effect on the other fellow. This, however, is where judgment comes into play. Everyone does not react exactly alike, nor does everyone like the same thing. So our actions should take into consideration the attitude of the other fellow. At a certain point of realization that your attitude is improving, you may begin to acknowledge the fact that some of your closest friends may have negative attitudes. All you can do in this situation is set a proper example for them. If their attitude seems to be affecting your life in a negative way, maybe it's time to distance the friendship a bit and start surrounding yourself with a new group of friends with positive attitudes. One good way to break a bad attitude is to simply wear a rubber band or bracelet on one of your wrists. When you catch yourself saying something negative, move the bracelet to the opposite wrist. Over a period of time, you will notice this amazing change in your life. You are a positive attitude. Some people will respond more quickly to one approach than another. Some people expect more than others do. Here will come into play our ability to analyze and plan. One approach that almost everyone likes, however, is that of friendliness and cordiality. Only when we feel people are working with us rather than for us will we know that our attitudes are right. When our attitudes are right, our whole outlook on life is brighter. When we have a happy outlook, our attitudes are good. Therefore, it pays us all to keep constantly on the alert. A set of good attitudes pays off in more ways than one. No one can afford to let down his guard in relation to this valuable asset. One display of a poor attitude will do so much to destroy many hours of effort to build good attitude. Keep your left guard up and lead with your right. Attitude, that is. Because whatever you do, wherever you go, remember, your attitude is showing.